Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahusha, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahusha, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson will be entitled Ushering in a Police State, my source, RT.com. And this article is entitled Seattle Lawmakers Successfully Override Mayor's Veto on $3 million Police Budget Cut and 100 officer layoffs. This article was published on the 23rd of September 2020. As you can see, the defund the police. Seattle City Council has voted to overturn Mayor Jenny Durkin's veto on legislation that would slash millions of dollars from the local police budget, a move cheered by activist groups and reviled by some residents. The council overturned Durkin's veto by a vote of 7-2, securing exactly the number of votes needed to put the legislation into effect. So what this means is city lawmakers also negated vetoes for two other bills unrelated to law enforcement. However, the police defunding bill, originally passed in August, will cut some $3 million from the Seattle Police Department $400 million budget and reduce the force by 100 employees, including 32 patrol officers. Okay. Like I said before, this means that $3 million from the Seattle Police Department's $400 million budget and reduce the force by 100 employees, including 32 patrol officers. The legislation will also abolish Seattle's navigation team, an agency that works with police to disband homeless encampments around the city. So the elite wants to defund all police departments to usher in what? A police state. And more than likely, these are agent provocateurs. This person stated, "Thank you, Seattle City Council, for keeping your promise to the people and overriding the mayor's veto of police budget cuts. Thank you for hearing us where the mayor would not." Another person, "The Seattle City Council just overrided the mayor's veto, beginning the defunding of the Seattle police. We're winning. To everyone who says that rioting was counterproductive, you can eat my whole anarchist ass." And an anarchist is, when you break the origin of that term down, it means without a leader or absence of a government. You can't argue with results. Another person, "Love my anarchist jurisdiction." Now here you have residents that were far less enthused about this situation. This person stated, "If you live in Seattle, leave." And another person, "Looks as though Seattle is doing to learn the hard way, as has Chicago, as to what happens when you defund the police. Then they'll try to blame the spike in the crime rate on the police when it can be laid at the city council's door. Poor Seattle." According to Wikipedia, a police state is a government that exercises power through the power of the police force. Political control may be exerted by means of a secret police force that operates outside the boundaries normally imposed by a constitutional state. And according to Mrs. Institute or Mises Institute, unlike traditional policemen who respond to crime, the purpose of such state police is to monitor and control society. Meaning what? Your so-called constitutional rights are no longer active. This so-called rioting and Jake being gunned down by police officers is to attain the objective of having a police state in all 50 states. It states, let me restate my opening question. Does America now embody this common description of a police state? Clearly it does. All right. And this article was actually written in 2011. The American government exerts extreme control over society down to dictating which foods you may eat. Its economic control borders on the absolute. Camera and other surveillance of daily life has soared, with the Supreme Court recently expanding the right of police to perform warrantless searches. Enforcement is so draconian that the U.S. has more prisoners per capita than any other nation. And over the last few years, the police have been self-consciously militarizing their procedures and attitudes. Travel, formerly a right, is now a privilege granted by government agents at their whim. Several huge and tyrannical law enforcement agencies monitor peaceful behavior rather than respond to crime. These agencies operate largely outside the restrictions of the Constitution. For example, the TSA conducts arbitrary searches in violation of Fourth Amendment guarantees. Okay, so these are all examples of a police state. And like I said before, the purpose of such state police is to monitor and control society. Let's read this part too. A police state is more commonly described as a totalitarian government that exerts extreme social, political, and economic control. It maintains its control by a pervasive surveillance of its own citizenry, by draconian law enforcement, and by granting or withholding privileges such the ability to travel. Typically, there is a special police force such as a Stasi that operates with no transparency and fewer restraints. Unlike traditional policemen who respond to crime, the purpose of such state police is to monitor and control society. All right. So we are in the entry phases of becoming a police state in certain areas of America. And this is going to trickle, okay, to other states. All right. The defunding campaign of the police is to usher in a police state. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Ushering in a police state is an objective within the New World Order. Okay, and Esau wants this New World Order because he wants his birthright back. When you focus on he in the Greek, it refers to a man. This he is referring to the nobility of the Edomite nation, beginning with the Rothschilds, trickling down to the other 12 families. They control this entire beast system, and this is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Meaning what? The Rothschilds and these other families are the reason why this system operates. They give this system life. The image is referring to this system. This world operates based on this system, which is a pattern of the pagan Rome Empire. That the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. Who is the beast? NATO, EU, and America should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Worship is going into your participation within this system. I think in the Greek it means to bow down, or Salakia. Worship in the Greek means to prostrate oneself, meaning what? To bow. And how do you do this? By receiving the microchip. Job 5:12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And a device of the crafty is what? Ushering in a police state, so that their hands, meaning their might, cannot perform their enterprise. Their enterprise is referring to the New World Order. Lord, will you edify? Shalom.